Welcome back to Divine Duality, the podcast where we explore the contrast between the call and the intention. The tension between what you were created to do and what it actually takes to live it out. I'm your host, Tiffany Pete, and if you're here, then maybe you, like me, are walking through your own duality. The contrast between the assignment and the adversity, the calling and the cost. And today, that's exactly where we're going. We're talking about something a lot of people don't want to say out loud. The call will cost you. We live in a world that celebrates the destination, the success, the spotlight, the I made it moment. But calling doesn't start on the stage. It starts in the shadows. And more often than not, it's in those shadows that you start to feel the weight of what you said yes to. You see, people will see the fruit of your calling, but they won't see the fight it took to produce it. They don't see the prayers, the sacrifices, the obedience when you wanted to quit, the tears behind the post, the doubt behind the mic. And still, God called you. He trusted you with it. I want to take a moment to tell you what it looked like for me, what that looked like for me when my yes started to feel expensive. I remember a season in my life when everything looked right on the outside. I was showing up, I was serving, I was creating, and I was pouring into others. But inside, I was tired. I mean, spiritually, emotionally, physically, just exhausted. My soul was tired. And I started questioning everything. And I would pray, like, God, if you really called me to this, why does it feel like it's crushing me? Why does this hurt so deeply and so badly? Why does it feel lonely? Why does it feel like I'm giving more than I'm getting back? Why does it feel like everyone's winning but me? And the truth is, purpose costs. It will cost you your comfort. It will cost you your timeline. It will cost you some friendships, some opportunities, some parts of you that were never meant to go where God is taking you. And I constantly go back to a passage in the scripture where Ecclesiastes 3, where it talks about a time for everything, a season for everything. And I think about the people and the things that come, within our lives. And some people and some things are meant to be with you for the long haul. Like, that's going to be your ride or die. They are planted. They are meant to walk through every season of your life with you. And then there are other things and other people where they're only meant to be in your life for a specific season. It could potentially be seasons, but at some point, their job is done and it's time for you to go your separate ways and for you to continue moving in your calling. And then there are also things and people who are like vapors in the wind or whispers in the wind. They blow into your life for a brief moment in time and then they're gone. And in thinking about that, that gives me solace in the fact that I know that my calling is going to cost me some things. But what also gives me solace and like renewed hope and the strength to carry on, so to speak, is that I learned something else. And what I learned is that God never asked for a sacrifice without having a strategy. I'll say that again. God never asks for a sacrifice without having a strategy. So no matter what you're having to let go of and to get rid of and to to cut ties with, there is a divine strategy that God has already mapped out, and you're going to be okay. And honestly, knowing that, like, you can trust in Him and put full faith in Him that whatever comes up, He's got you because you were obedient. He's got you covered. So, one of the reasons I started this podcast was because I really got tired of seeing people just kind of walk away from their purpose. And it's not because they weren't capable, because certainly they are, but more so because they just weren't prepared for the cost. Like I said, the call comes with blessing, but it also comes with burden. And I don't mean burden in like a negative connotation that we might normally think of whenever we hear that word. But know that it's a blessing, but it's also a burden. It comes with visibility, but also vulnerability. It comes with applause, but also isolation. And that's the duality. Two things can be true at one time. You can be deeply anointed and still deeply anxious. I can think of times where God spoke to me so strongly, just laid things so heavily on my spirit and on my heart, and I could hear it so loudly and clearly in my mind that He was telling me to like speak to someone or prophetically or speak to someone spiritually or to a crowd or whatever the case may be. And in the back of my mind, I'm going, okay, God, I hear you and I feel you, but what if this isn't received well? What if this is taken the wrong way? What if my intentions in saying these things is misunderstood? What if, right? So you can be deeply anointed and still deeply anxious. You can be on fire spiritually and still wrestle with doubt. God, you sure? You sure I'm the person you want to do this? Are you absolutely 100% sure that I'm supposed to be the person that delivers this message or to do this thing? You sure? I feel like I'm not qualified or someone else is better fit or suited to do this work, Lord. So you sure? You can be walking in your purpose and still question your pace. You know, God, I know that you've called me to do this thing, and we have been on this journey for 10 years. And Lord, still, I feel like I'm at, square one. I feel like I'm still at home plate, waiting for the pitcher to throw me the ball. I feel like I should have had 4 home runs by now. I should be further in my career. I should be further in my calling. I should be doing this. I should be on major platforms, whatever the case is. You can be walking in your purpose and still question your pace because maybe you feel that God isn't moving fast enough for you. We've been taught to think that calling means ease. And while it has its moments where things are smooth sailing, sometimes the evidence that you're on the right path is actually the resistance. The devil doesn't fight you when you're doing the wrong thing. He fights you when you're doing the right thing. So if you feel like you are going through hell over high waters, that you are being hit from all sides, you're just in a constant battle, keep going. Don't give up. You are doing the right thing. You are on the right path. Keep going. If you're struggling, please know that you're not failing. You're not failing. You are just walking through what comes with being chosen. There's a verse that's anchored me for years. It's Luke 14:28, and it says, "For which of you, desiring to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the costs?" Jesus wasn't trying to scare us. He was preparing us. He was saying, don't be surprised when it costs you something. Just be ready for it. And I think about the phrase, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And I feel like that's like so, like it fits this verse so well. Because Jesus was telling us like, hey, at some point the calling is going to be it's going to get expensive. So prepare yourself now. So when that time or those times come, you are expecting it. You can continue to move. It may be hard. It may be difficult. It may even hurt a little bit, but you have braced yourself and prepared yourself for the work I have called you to do. And this is just a part of it. Keep going. Because the truth is, honestly, you're building something sacred. And sacred things come with sacrifice. But here's the promise. God will cover what the call costs. I'll say that again. God will cover what the call costs. What you lose in one season, He's going to redeem in another. What you give up in obedience, He's going to restore in purpose. What you pour out, He will refill. You won't have to seek man's validation. You won't have to seek someone else or some other thing to fill your cup because you're running on empty. What you pour out, He will refill because He knows exactly what you need and exactly what it costs you to answer the call. Sometimes the thing we think is punishment is actually preparation. The closed door, that's protection. The delays, that's not denial, that's development. The lonely seasons, and Lord knows, walking in your calling gets lonely. But what that truly is alignment. So if you're in a season where your calling feels like it's costing you more than it's giving, pause and reframe it. And please know that I'm speaking to the choir as I'm saying these things. Instead of asking, why me? Why me, God? Why me? Try asking, what's being built in me? Instead of saying, you know what, I can't take this, I'm done, this is too much, I throw my hands up, I'm out. Try saying, I'm being trusted with this. Because you are. You are being trusted. So, here's your challenge this week. And I really want you to sit with this one. I'm going to sit with it too. If your journal, this is a great prompt to add to your journal. If not, really do just sit and meditate on what I'm about to say. What has your calling cost you? And what has it produced in you? Again, what has your calling cost you and what has it produced in you? I want you to take 10 minutes, quiet minutes this week, where you can be honest, write it down, say it out loud. But in some way, I want you to name the relationships, the comfort zones, the peace, the ease, whatever you feel like you've lost. I want you to name it, stamp it, acknowledge it, be honest with it. And then I want you to ask yourself, who have I become because of what I've given up? Who have I become because of what I've given up? And now that I want to hear your answers, feel free to share them with me on Instagram at Divine Duality Podcast or on my personal Instagram at Tiffany Ekpete. And let's grow through this thing together. Before we go, though, I want to speak this over you. If you're listening right now and the weight feels heavy, I want you to know you're not weak. You're not crazy. You're not behind. You're simply just being refined. Like gold in a fire, you are being refined. And something beautiful is going to come out of all of this. You were never called to carry your calling alone. So today, take a breath, release the pressure, and trust the process. The call may cost you, but the reward is becoming exactly who God created you to be. And that far supersedes anything we could have ever imagined or wanted or created for ourselves. Okay? Yep, the call is going to cost you. And that cost may be very expensive, but again, the reward is becoming exactly who God created you to be. Thank you for being here. If this episode spoke to your heart, share it with someone who needs the reminder that they're not alone in this tension. Subscribe, leave a review, and meet me on Instagram at Divine Duality Podcast, or you can follow my personal Instagram at Tiffany Ekpete so that we can keep the conversation going. Also, please follow us on Facebook at Divine Duality Podcast, as well as YouTube and Divine Duality Podcast, and we are officially on Apple and Spotify. So please feel free to go and follow us on those platforms as well. Until next time, keep showing up even when it costs you. This is Divine Duality, and I'll meet you in the tension.